Justice Secretary David Lammy wants to get rid of juries. But what he doesn't realise is there's always a tweet. Hey up everyone and welcome to Political Nerds. I'm Steph the Alter Nerd, your nerdy political guide from Washington DC to Westminster and beyond. Now of course, before I jump into this, the usual disclaimer: do your own research, come to your own conclusions, and I'm not inciting hatred to anyone or particular group, religion, etc. So let's jump into the madness first and foremost with David Lammy, our Justice Secretary, thinking it's the best idea in the whole wide freaking world to get rid of juries and just let our judges make the final decision. This is horrific, okay, on so many levels. Yet here's the headline: Justice Secretary wants jury trials scrapped, except in most serious cases. He's proposing to massively restrict the ancient right to a jury trial by only guaranteeing it for defendants facing RAPE, murder, manslaughter or other cases passing a public interest test. An internal government briefing produced by the Ministry of Justice for all other Whitehall departments confirms plans to create a new tier of juryless courts in England and Wales. The new courts would deal with most crimes currently considered by juries in the Crown Court. The Ministry of Justice has said no final decision has been taken by the government, but plans show that Lammy wants to ask Parliament to end jury trials for defendants who would be jailed for up to 5 years. The proposals are an attempt to end delays and backlogs in courts and do not apply to Scotland or Northern Ireland. In practice, it means that suspects being charged with serious crimes today may not have a trial until late 2029 or early 2030, based on the backlogs with more than 78,000 cases waiting to be completed. Yeah. Have you now got chills going down your spine? Because the chills are going down my spine, I'll tell you that right now. However, as I said right at the beginning, what David Lammy doesn't realise is there's always a tweet. And I wonder what changed for Lammy, because 5 years ago, this is what he actually said on X. Jury trials are a fundamental part of our democratic settlement. Criminal trials without juries are a bad idea. The government need to pull their finger out and acquire empty public buildings across the country to make sure these can happen in a way that is safe. Yeah. The government needs to pull the finger out and do better than this nonsense. Like I said, this was 5 years ago. I wonder what changed for Lammy now. Because if Lammy actually does try and push ahead with his new proposal to horrifically scrap juries for most trials, then he will be going against the Magna Carta. As Henry Bolton OBE says here, any government prepared to scrap trial by jury is a government that is the enemy of the British people. Trial by one's peers has been the most fundamental right of citizens within the British judicial since it was codified in 1215 in Clause 39 of the Magna Carta. And when it comes to the Magna Carta, there are only 3 clauses that are still in force left today, which we need to protect at all costs. And thanks to Adrian Hilton on X for listing them right here. The 3 clauses that are still in force from the Magna Carta are as follows: the freedom of the English Church, the freedom of the City of London, the right to due legal process, including trial by jury of peers. A government which abrogates has no understanding of freedom or justice. For government abrogates number 3, the right to due legal process, including trial by jury of peers. Now, even Barrister Stephen Barrett makes a really good point about Lammy's proposal to get rid of juries, saying they have no electoral mandate for this. Absolutely none. Speaking of which, Free by the Sea highlights that there are many things that were not in the Labour manifesto before they came to power, and now they're trying to push it all out. Digital ID, assisted dying, scrapping jury trials were not in Labour's 2024 manifesto. Yet in 2025, they're pushing all three. Three sweeping changes, striking at the core of how we live with zero mandate from voters. We're moving apace from democracy towards authoritarianism. Now, do you believe me when I repeatedly say in these videos, we don't have a government anymore? No, instead we are being ruled by a dictatorship. Going back to Stephen Barrett, saying right here, kind of quoting someone asking this question, right? Stephen, is there any more evil or illegitimate attack that a government or any party could conduct than to attack trial by jury? Stephen's response, very simple, no. Now, those from the political world have been reacting to this thick and fast, with Zia Yusuf saying the following: let us not become desensitised to this. Starmer is tearing away our rights one by one with no electoral mandate. There was no mention of curbing the right to trial by jury in the Labour manifesto, none. Yet today we learn of their sinister plan to rip up the British right to trial by jury, a freedom that has protected ordinary people from state overreach for centuries. The right to be judged by peers is a core liberty dating back to Magna Carta. It's the line that stands between citizens and the unchecked power of the state. To try to abolish most jury trials without a democratic mandate is extraordinary and dangerous. It tells you everything about the authoritarian instincts of this government. This is an attack on British justice itself. Reform will oppose it at every turn. This is a thing, though. It's not just Reform that's opposing it. There's a lot of MPs now that are publicly coming out and fighting back. A lot of them, generally speaking, I don't agree with. But in this instance, it looks like we're pretty aligned here. Such as aligned with Adnan Hussain, MP, trying to fight back with this motion, saying on X, I'm tabling a motion in Parliament opposing government plans to abolish trial by jury for all but a few serious crimes. Trial by jury is a bedrock of our legal tradition. The government must explore alternative measures to address the Crown Court backlog. Yeah. We also have Saki Bharti MP supporting this by saying the following: this is the biggest attack on our civil liberties happening right in front of our eyes. For 800 years, trial by jury is ensured only your peers can decide if you are innocent or guilty, not the state. This isn't about money, it's about reframing where the power lies, away from the people. So, hopefully, guys, there are enough MPs in Parliament with enough brain cells to know that Lammy's proposal is bad, rotten, absolutely disastrous, and I would argue treacherous against the British public. Now, ex-Prime Minister Liz Truss, she's reacted to Lammy's proposal, saying the following right here: no ancient British liberty is safe from the rampaging leftist hordes. Property rights, free speech, trial by jury, they are being taken from us slice by slice. We must fight like we've never fought before to get them back. I totally agree. We need to fight like we've never fought before to get these rights back in a peaceful, legal, democratic way, may I add. Now, Rael Braverman, he's saying what we're all thinking right now as far as I'm concerned. Saying, I was going to say this guy is a joke, but he's not. He's dangerous. And this is the thing, right? David Lammy, quite rightly so, has been treated like a joke. But at this point, the joke has just turned dangerous. And we need to see him now as a danger, more so than a joke. Now, of course, reactions on X have been coming in thick and fast. Let me show you a couple right here. First from Chris Rose saying, I absolutely do not trust judges who let Hamas supporters off lightly, allowed perverted asylum seekers to walk free due to cultural differences, spared jail for a Muslim man who attacked someone burning a Quran, Defending the jury trial is extremely vital. And let me leave you with this reaction from Marcus Walker right here. Basically saying, yeah, they're all gung-ho to scrap juries, but we can't leave the ECHR, the European Court of Human Rights, or we'll lose all our basic rights and liberties. Yeah. The contradiction is off the freaking charts. And as I just said a few moments ago, David Lammy, with this proposal right here, has turned himself from being a joke, from being extremely, extremely dangerous. And again, needs to be stopped using legal, peaceful, democratic means. And hopefully there are enough MPs in Parliament that have got enough about them, enough brain cells, to oppose and fight this every step of the way to make sure this does not come to fruition. With that being said, if you appreciated this video and you want more, and unfortunately with the state of the UK at the moment, there's going to be more, then make sure you subscribe to join our tribe here at Political Nerds. If you're watching on X, make sure you're following me at Steph Alternerd. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever's. Would you, in any reality, in any freaking universe, right? In this country, in the UK, would you support the removal of juries from trials? Would you? I wouldn't. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. I appreciate all your faces. And until the next time, you guys, laters.